Dear Grace, back in the park, but I think it's not too windy today, so it won't be as bad as it was last time, audio-wise. Plus I'm using a different phone. I'm not breathing so heavy into the mic, I think. That is the sound of a little kid in a electric toy car on the walking path, making quite a bit of noise. You're back at the Trail of Hope Park, and I finally found a signpost that doesn't have it scratched out. So back to some detective work today, Grace, as well as continuing talking about the telepathy tapes. I'm starting to think that big noise the other day when I was in this park was this tree falling over. Because they have sorry, people are talking. They have traffic cones. That's the word I was looking for. Traffic cones around it. So I'm pretty sure that would make the most sense. Because that sound, I'm going to go back and listen to it, Grace. That sound definitely sounded like a tree falling in the forest. Also like a gunshot, but more like a tree falling in the forest because it's more of a thud than a crack. It's my professional opinion, Grace. That's someone who spent years analyzing forest sounds. I think I'd be a good liar, Grace. Just a good bullshitter. Not with you, of course. Nice light today. Not as nice as the other day, but nice. In case you're wondering. I forgot where I left off in the telepathy tapes. Probably. Oh yeah. People are chicken shits. And even if the technology was 99% perfect, but there's a 1% chance that one of your thoughts slips through to your telepathic partner. Most people won't do it. It's always going to be for something silly, too. On the other hand, the two parties are not afraid of a little honesty. Because after all, if the hill is real, and the universal translator can translate between languages. You're literally talking to somebody but nobody, because even if you were to tell them something accidentally through the telepathic connection, if they're anonymous, who gives a fuck? And I'm pretty sure any technology that would allow two people to communicate without lying, or only communicate without lying, probably have some sort of built-in system so that if two people were talking and one person said something embarrassing, maybe accidentally, maybe there's a buffer. Maybe there's a bit of a buffer where, again, going back to text messages, where you kind of have to read it over before you hit send. However, in telepathy, that would be a lot of work. You just have to think of your thought and think send. There's really all you want to do is think of the thought and have it transmitted immediately. I might have to buy some gloves if I'm going to keep walking. Alright, where was I? Something brilliant about perfect ass, blah blah blah. Oh yeah, lying. Buffering. So that's a possibility. It's also a possibility that there's no buffer. If you say something stupid, then you have to account for your words with a stranger. Or, if we use the X analogy, just cut the connection, block them, pretend like you never said it. They don't know who the fuck you are anyways, so who cares? It's not like they're going to be able to tell this story and have anyone believe them. It's a perfect system, but think about it. I was like 3 different groups of people speaking 3 different languages. I really should learn a language other than English, but quite frankly, Universal Translator is here with Google and all these other AI companies, so it's not really needed. Feet sound like they're in rubber boots, but they're not. From a distance, a lot of other languages just sound like a mumble. I used to speak with a mumble. I still do. I'm afraid, Grace, I'm gonna have to make this more annoying for a second. Entire summer in this park, Grace, I've never once seen people playing horseshoes, even though there's a big horseshoe, I don't know what the fuck you call that, yard, field, range, something. Now in the middle of January, finally see 3 people playing it. That should be boring enough for you to fall asleep. It's not. What can I do? Doing my best here. Why did leg warmers go out of fashion? Why were people's legs cold in the first place? Just wondering. Please ask AI to measure the sound of my feet. Tell me how fast I'm walking. It'll need to know my height. I'm 6'5", 300 pounds, pure muscle. I got about a 5% body fat on a bad day. What I really should do in this park is all the exercise equipment. But I'm clearly don't need it. When you're 6'5", 300 pounds, naturally, why enhance that, Grace? Why go bigger? It's not like you're gonna care. Well, I'd like a place to sit down and finish this or talk, but everything's soaking wet. I don't know what it is right now, but Vancouver's a bit like Dave's Island or Ricky's Island. Frequent overnight showers. Enough to get all the benches just wet enough. And even if it doesn't rain during the day, they don't dry out. Concrete benches are better if they're finished concrete, because you can wipe them off and get those dry. Cold as fuck. Sitting on a block of ice. Suppose I could quit my bitching, and give the fuck up. No long known baby dee I know dee go up dee. No idea how long I've been recording or walking. Feels like hours, maybe days. Here's a good question, Grace. Is exaggeration allowed on the hill? Because I'm obviously not 6'5", 300 pounds. But it makes you laugh, and it's not a lie. Would that go through the universal translator or not? Guess what I'm doing, Grace, is I'm just building a set of rules for the universal translator. And then I'll see, fuck it. I'll just write another goddamn motherfucking movie script about it. Which nobody will read or give a shit about. Except for you. And me. Ever get some money, I'll buy an old washing machine, and I'll hook it up outside, because every day I walk around, there's always clothes left from the night before. Just collect them all up, wash them, dry them. If they fit me, then I'll have something new to wear. If they don't, I can go to Goodwill. Just a thought. Well, I've walked around this entire park in 20 minutes. It's way too fast. So I think what I'm going to do is take the train and or take the train downtown, see if it's still raining there. So, as much as I hate pausing, I'm gonna pause, take the train, and see if I come up with some brilliant ideas in the train. Because I normally do. Don't know why. Remind me, Grace. Still need to tell the joke about the footprints on the bridge near the house. And with that, I've arrived at the train station, as you may or may not hear. I'll pause, talk to you in a bit. I'm back, Grace. I made it to Mecca, downtown Vancouver, Seawall. Freaks and Geeks special. I fit in perfectly. There's gonna be a lot of interruptions. Friends out trying to get their exercise on a Saturday. Anywho, I figure if I can get ahead of the game, and get this one recorded on the same day as another one, then one of two things are going to happen. Either I'll keep doing this past episode 100, or I won't. Not trying to sound dramatic. But on the other hand, these really aren't contributing much. I might as well just read someone else's works. It's interesting, the trains sound different in downtown Vancouver, even though it's the exact same train. I don't know. Maybe they have WD-40 on the tracks down here. Since this is basically a throwaway episode, Grace, you should be pretty proud of me for saying phenomenon. Running out of jokes, Grace. Lost my humor. Even the crow thinks so. ask the AI, Grace, what's the longest time between two statements? In this episode, and then in other episodes, or I guess the easier way is, what part of which episode had the greatest dead air? Hi, I'm David. I'm a retired autistic senior. I'm retired, but I'm poor retired. I don't buy my cigarettes at the grocery store. I buy them from Fritz outside the liquor store. Forgot about that joke, Grace. I should have ended up in back taxes, but oh well. What can you do? Maybe I just take down Dear Grace, episode 100, and say fuck it. Take down the whole site and say double fuck it. Or mother fucking fuck it. I would say swearing is allowed on the hill. Because if you think about it, Grace, swearing is one of the purest forms of communication. You say fuck, or fuck, or fuck. Everyone with some sense of human emotion see that one word probably has a million meanings, or at least 1,000 emotions, and works in a million situations. Bunch of weird bearded guys. Way too many people for me to describe everybody, but I'll give you the out of ordinaries. People out of place, wearing something weird, a bright colored sweater, in a park, on a cold day, where the person should really be wearing a jacket. But for some reason, decides, fuck this jacket. I'll just walk across this park in this bright pink sweater for no fucking reason at all. I think fuck might be the greatest word in the world. Or at least the greatest word ever invented. forget where I was, Grace. There's a lady with a baby. I looked at the baby. And I thought about babies. And I forgot what I was saying. And here we are. I guess I fucked up part of the whole to my future wife thing. Guess I don't really be talking about that a lot, to be fair. Told you enough about my day-to-day life that you can say yes or no. If I was you, I'd go for the crazy because it's more interesting. Plus, technically, I'm just a comedian. I'm not crazy. Here's the funny thing. Not really, but maybe this is why I want to be a comedian. Ha 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 ha. Really not sure how much of that background noise you hear, but I guess one day I'll listen and find out. Speaking of babies, cute toddler in the swing, a pink jacket. I'm gonna assume that's a girl. Anyway, where are we? Walking and talking. Seems to be a lot. I guess I'll just keep making fun of people until I can find something. Remember what the fuck I was talking about. I'm David. I'm a poor, retired autistic senior. At the end of the month, I take my bottles back to pay for the last 3 or 4 days of food. Ramen noodles, or brown rice,
I don't really want to do like.
or what's more pathetic, Grace? Hot dogs seem like a luxury if you're living off bottle money. Ramen or rice and corn. Here we go. Guy on an electric skateboard pulling a doggy, I guess maybe a baby bike, baby carrier thing, where the baby rides behind the back bike. I have no fucking idea what that's called. So far, every girl today is in a pink jacket. When I say girl, I mean kid. Today is Pink Jacket Day in downtown Vancouver. On the streets reporting. Yeah, that's where I was at. Comedians basically get a free pass. That's why I want to be one. And to be fair, it's not so much that they get a free pass, but they get to do exactly what I described on the hill, which is talk about what they want to talk about when they want to talk about it to a bunch of other people, most of which who are anonymous to them. Oh, the comedian can see their faces. They're still kind of anonymous. And the comedian, the person that's making the people laugh, obviously making some sort of connection to them. We're going to say that's telepathic or hypnotic or friendship. Who knows? If you had a friend that you knew would just make you laugh or always makes you laugh, when would you call up that friend the most? When you're happy or when you're sad? I guess I see that as the comedian's job. Anonymous happy maker. If only temporary. Might be enough to get them to forget about whatever it is that's causing them to be unhappy. Which I believe I talked about previous episode. Now it's starting to come back to me. I think Jimmy Carr's idea of a comedy school is way beyond what he even understands. I would say it's not a comedy school. It'd be a school of life where comedy is taught, or a school of life taught through comedy. Or, I guess, parents really want their kids to learn math and shit. Just hire funny teachers. I don't take things too seriously. And somehow make math fun. How? I don't know. I clearly will not be the math or the economics professor, or the economics professor, either one. At least until I stop seeing my bottles as a source of income. Oh, and to be fair, I stole a couple out of the recycling bin too. Well, it's not really stealing. I just expedited their trip to the recycling store and pocketed the 30 cents for myself. Alright, now there's guys on three-wheelers, electric three-wheelers sitting down. So pretty soon we're just going to have motorbikes running up and down the path. Cars. Horses. I personally don't give a shit, but I do like hearing people talk about it when I walk by them. That shouldn't be allowed. Who gives a fuck? Well, it's just not noisy. Way more people jog downtown than out where I live. Just saw a dog with creepy eyes. Probably what people say about me. Having a park with the name David in it, which means it's the greatest park in the world. There's no better park. The other day I realized why David was such a perfect name. But I've forgotten. He'll come back to me. Could you actually imagine walking with me, Grace, and listening to this? Of course, another way to tell you're in downtown Vancouver. The smell. To be fair, I just walked by a lady who's talking to someone on the phone. She's like, the dog just took a shit. Just as boring as this conversation. So if you were walking with me, Grace, and for some reason can't have a two-way conversation, don't know why, but I think for some reason maybe you're mute. Maybe you just had a tooth pulled.
I think it's just like the area.
Maybe you're shy. Maybe you don't know English. Maybe you understand English but don't speak English. Yeah, where was I? Oh yeah, boring conversations. Basically all of our conversations so far. On here at least. Anyway, I'm normally the person that walks with someone and doesn't see anything and just let them blather on and on and on about every little thing in their life. But somehow I think that feels good for them. And quite frankly, I'll forget the next day anyway, so who cares? Tell me your woes. I'm not going to offer any advice. And I'm not going to repeat it to anyone. Which again kind of sounds like what a good relationship on the hill would be. Anonymous. Trust the person. You know they're not going to repeat it. And anonymous friend. AF.
I tolerate cold pretty well, but I'm not.
I tolerate cold pretty well. How many times do you think that's said in Canada in an average winter? Phenomenon. 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 Hi, I'm David. I'm a retired autistic senior. It took me 60 years to learn how to say phenomenon. It's a very limited audience, Grace. Sorry, it's a joke for a very limited audience. Grace. I'm gonna be in a selfie. Really cute girl taking a selfie, and I walked right behind it, but she pulled the camera down. Probably thought my face would break it. Or probably thought she took the photo and this really handsome man's in the background. And then she actually accidentally sends that to her boyfriend. And then he does a reverse Google image search on me. Finds out who I am. Tracks me down. And beats the crap out of me. That probably won't happen, but you never know. Walking by a boat called the Mary Dancer. I'll let you guess whether it's M-A-R-Y or M-E-R-R-Y. The Mary Dancer sounds like a stripper. On the other hand, a Mary Dancer could also be a stripper, but just a happy one. Instead of a sad one with daddy issues. I don't know why they say strippers always have daddy issues. They should really just say parental issues. Here we go. Car alarm. It's going to take me about 3 minutes to walk by this, Grace, so I apologize again for not pausing. It stopped. Got scared of me. I think I tired myself out, Grace. I mean, I could continue to make fun of people. It's kind of easy. For a challenge or a subject I could stay on topic for. Do you say whatever, Grace? Okay, whatever. Because if you do, I don't care. He's so cute. Listen to a girl talk to her friend. I'm gonna repeat everything I hear, Grace. And then I'll probably end this. Oh my god, I love it. Shit, she stopped. Sure is equally exciting as what I gave you already. But now I'm gonna put you away in my pocket like a genie. If you are a genie, let's listen to these noisy girls first.
They are taller than the
size. No, no, no. They're taller than this, for sure.
They're like massive.
Take 4 20-something girls, young women, whatever. At least one's gonna have a raspy cigarette voice. Alright, where was I? I had one last thing to say. Those girls rudely interrupted me on this unbelievable content-filled, fascinating conversation with Grace. Just keep delaying a little bit longer. Another girl in a pink jacket. Oh well, can't remember. Taking all the shortcuts on the seawall. Make it English Bay. And say fuck it. And grab a bus. And with that, sorry, I have to walk up some stairs first. With that, I'll talk to you tomorrow, Grace.